And the Dolphins should feel, even though they've lost 3 games in a row, good about where they are. They're proving they can play with anyone. They're proving they're going to be a tough out. They're proving that they can get hot. They just need a few tweaks here or there. Mike McDaniel, it's going to be a challenge for him to say the right things, to hold it together. They've lost 3 in a row, but as 3-game losing streaks go, I feel like they are in a good spot for the final 3 games of the season. Do you agree?
Yes, I do. Look, there are no moral victories, but after the way that they played out here in Los Angeles last Sunday night, I think they needed to at least have a better performance. Tua Tagovailoa was much better in this game. I mean, there was that throw that he had down the right sideline, for a touchdown. That's his best throw that he's had in the last few weeks after going, to the Bay Area and losing to San Francisco and then losing to the Chargers. He was playing more like the quarterback that we've seen throughout the course of this season.
Yes, he was. And now he's getting ready to come home. And I'm not a big stat person, but I saw this stat today, and I thought this was really impressive. I'm going to share this with you guys right now. All right, Tua at home. He's 5-0 at home. He's got a 68% completion average, 260 per game, 8.4 yards per attempt, 7 TDs, 0 interceptions, and a 108.7 passer rating. Tua is coming home to ball against the Green Bay Packers. People want to deny that. Everything, and just so you guys know who aren't down here, I've got a sweater on because it's chilly in South Florida. I'm the one who probably could survive in Buffalo because as we speak right now, the temperature here in balmy South Florida, Boca, is let's see. What's it get down to? It's 72 degrees. I don't know if you guys can see that. 72 degrees. That's kind of chilly for us. But what's more important that it's supposed to drop down into the 50s, like 59, 60 degrees this weekend. For those of you not adjusted to South Florida weather, 59 degrees means we put on sweaters, we put on hoodies, the girls put on boots, the wives wear all their heavy winter clothing because at 58, it's kind of cold, but there's going to be no heat advantage this weekend. It's not like it's going to be 100 degrees in the sun down at the Hard Rock Stadium, so we're going to have equal footing. It's going to be good weather unless it rains or something, but this is no excuse. At this point, I believe, and I did it in one of my videos yesterday, that the Miami Dolphins have to do like that Cleveland Indians team in Major League, where they were getting ready to get disbanded, and one of the guys in the locker room says, you know what we got to do? And people are like, what? We got to win them all. At this point, I am counting, not guaranteeing and not predicting, I am counting on the Miami Dolphins to win out. They got to beat the Packers, they got to beat the Patriots, and they got to beat the Jets. Got to do it. I need all 3 of those games to go in the W column. That's the kind of team I want to see getting ready for the playoffs. That's the kind of team that I think will make some people stand up and take notice and worry about the Dolphins as a potential player in the playoffs. I don't want to be 1-2 and trying to back in and get almost in, because to me, getting in the playoffs isn't the trophy. I see so many people on Twitter and other places, we got to get to playoffs. We haven't been to the playoffs in 20 years. I don't want to just get to the playoffs. I want to see this team cause problems in the playoffs. I want to know that this team on a given Sunday has a shot to move deeper into the playoffs. Once we get into the playoffs, now Mike McDaniel has got to get these guys ready. He has to get them ready at this point and get them going into the playoffs. You have no excuse. You got 3 games. 3. You got 3 games. And I don't know if you're trying to be cute and set something up for these 3 games by take the ball out of Raheem Mostert's hands, which was insane. I don't know if the guys had cold hands and they dropped a few of those balls. That's insane. Stop beating yourself. And that beating yourself, in my mind, goes in the same column as Mike McDaniel calling the wrong plays. He'd beaten himself. you're second and one from the goal line, and you get cute and call 2 passes and don't get a touchdown. To me, that's insane. It says the Tua can't play thing is turning into a psychological tick at this point. People are so emotionally entrenched that they can't view the truth objectively. That to me is so true. It's the same, and I'm not going to go there because it would piss some people off, but it's the same with some stuff that happened in this country for a year or so where people are so entrenched, they are so bought in, they've taken hold of the narrative. And whatever it be, in our regard here, talking about the Dolphins, hey, Tua is noodle arm. He can't play. He's fragile. He's small. What are the other ones they keep saying about him? And then we see he actually can play. But, he didn't do what Josh Allen did. But he brought the team to within 3 points and down to the last second. Yeah, but Josh Allen took the team up on his back. Tua can't do that. Yeah, but the Dolphins are 8-6 and they're poised for a playoff run, while there's a bunch of people sitting back at home watching TV who aren't going to be playing this week. Playing in the playoffs, whatever it takes. Yeah, but Tua can't do it. There's nothing. This tweet is absolutely right. There is nothing we are going to do about some people, including Dolphins fans, who are so entrenched in their feeling, who are so dug in at this point that there's literally no way out for them. There's no way for these people to come back, so just ignore them. You guys know I've been all over Stephen A. for months. I think that Stephen A. is the clown prince of ESPN. But I don't know what happened. I think that in staving off his inevitable irrelevance, he's become, or trying to become, more relevant, keeping his integrity. Listen to what he says here. It's only 36 seconds, and we'll be right back.
I sit here today humbled because Tua went into Buffalo in freezing temperatures where it was snowing in the fourth quarter. Yeah. He balled. Tyreek Hill, no surprise. Jalen Waddle, ball. That defense, listen, they lost. We get it. But they're not scrubs. They showed up. And I just found myself thinking, I said to myself, they're going to fold under these weather conditions. Right. They showed me Saturday they can beat anybody. Yeah. That's what they showed me Saturday.
Did you hear what he just said? And I just want to make sure you guys hear it right from his mouth. This is the most key statement I have ever heard Stephen A. Smith say. And I think he realizes now, just as most of us do, that this team is for real. And he can't stake his credibility on going Tua sucks anymore. Tua may have a bad game, but listen again to what he says right here. It's 6-7 seconds.
Weather conditions. Right. They showed me Saturday they can beat anybody. Yeah.
They showed him Saturday they can beat anybody. It shook for those of us who saw it. When I was sitting here this morning and having a Diet Coke and protein bar, and I'm watching this and I'm going, what? What did he just say? Oh, give me the remote. Click, rewind. Did Stephen A. Smith just look in the camera? Did he just look into the camera with his eyes, pose to the camera? Let me see if I can.
They can beat anybody.
Okay. Here's where he's looking directly into the camera, right there. And he said the Dolphins could beat anybody. The Dolphins could beat anyone. If he is saying that, that means it's being talked about in the media now. Right now, you've got people like Mina Kimes. You've got people like Chris Canty. You've got people like Mike Greenberg, and others who take their lead from Stephen A. Smith. And for him to go on ESPN and say, this team can beat anybody, not just the Buffalo Bills, Kansas City Chiefs, anybody. If he can see that, after all he has said all year long, every single hater of Tua Tagovailoa can do me a favor and pound a big heaping pile of steamy hot stuff, if you know what I mean. The word is out. Saturday night changed everything. It changed it for the Dolphins. It changed it for the media. You guys already know it. And anyone else who's denying it is completely, absolutely full of crap. This team can win and beat anybody on any given Sunday. That's why I think they have to win these next 3 games, get into the playoffs, and they can beat anyone. Buffalo Bills are currently going to be the number 1 seed. You got 8-6, Miami in the 7th seed, playing Kansas City, who's 11-3. 6th seed is the Chargers. They're 8-6, and you got Joe Burrow and the Bengals as a 3rd seed. And then you've got Baltimore and Tennessee down here. There's a lot of different places, there's a lot of different places the Miami Dolphins could end up here. I don't see them being 8. They're going to be 6 or above, probably. Who knows what's going to happen here. But these 2 teams, Kansas City and Buffalo, and Cincinnati for that matter, all cold weather teams. I don't think Baltimore and Tennessee are going to really matter that much. But can you see what I'm saying? At this point, there's not a single team, let me put it back up. There's not a single team on that list that you can't tell me. You can't tell me right now that the Miami Dolphins are precluded from beating any of those teams. See, we went from a league of 32 teams down to a league of basically 6. Actually 12, because you got the NFC. So we've got those teams. Those are the teams that he's looking at. Don't care about the other team. Don't care about the Browns. Don't care about the Texans. Right now, in a 6 or 7 team playoff, I want you to look at this and tell me the Dolphins would not be in a game with any of those teams. If you're dishonest, you're lying to yourself. At this point, we're down to basically this much we have to do. And as Stephen A. said, this team could beat anyone.
I sit here today humbled because Tua went into Buffalo in freezing temperatures where it was snowing in the 4th quarter.
Yeah.
He balled. Tyreek Hill, no surprise. Jalen Waddle, ball. That defense, listen, they lost. We get it. But they're not scrubs. They showed up. And I just found myself thinking, I said to myself, they're going to fold under these weather conditions.
Right.
They showed me Saturday they can beat anybody.
Is anybody catching on to this Barry guy?